Hello, my name's Bev, and 4 years ago I took up playing the recorder again after a 50-year gap. Good morning everyone. If you saw my last video, you'll know I played a very bad rendition of this Sonata by Bach, BWV 1034, and I played a bad rendition of the Allegro. Well, I took it along to my music lesson last night and did a real going over with it, not only with my amazing recorder teacher, but with her partner, who is a conservatoire trained flautist. I mean, he is brilliant at the flutes, and this particular sonata he actually played for whatever the equivalent of a dissertation is on whatever they do at a conservatoire. So in other words, he knows this piece back to front because it was originally a piece for flute. So he listened to a bit of it and he gave me a number of tips, and he also told me the things that he does when he plays this. Like, there were massive sections that he actually plays without breathing. I mean, obviously he breathes at the beginning, but he manages to control his breath all the way through, because there's some quite long sections of semi-quavers going on here, especially that following the pink mark. I'll tell you what that pink mark is about in a minute. He said it's difficult because between the semi-quavers you don't want to really breathe, because you're going to break up the rhythm, and if you're playing to an accompaniment then it all goes wrong, goes pear-shaped. So that is something to really work on. And actually, this is the second thing today that I've sort of linked my cycling videos, if you've seen those, with my recorder videos, and or should I say my cycling and my recorder playing, because one thing I found with the cycling that I do, and I do a lot of hill climbing on my bike, is you've got to really control your diaphragm, and you've got to really strengthen your muscles down in the diaphragm, and it's diaphragmatic breathing is what you need to do if you want to maintain a breath for long periods in a piece of music, if you're playing woodwind instrument. The other way, actually, quite interestingly, the two link, is that today is an extremely windy day. It's a beautiful day, very windy, but what I was going to do today, but had to cancel because of the wind, was I was going to go to the early music shop in Saltaire, and I was going to take in two of my recorders which need a little bit of cleaning, possibly a bit of maintenance, because they do that there, and I was going to leave them at the early music shop, and then I was going to go on my bike. I was going to bring my bike, put it in the boot of the car, park it there, and then I was going to cycle up the canal to Silsden and back and record a cycling video. That didn't happen because of the wind, but it will be happening at some point, hopefully, fingers crossed, next week. So there will be a cycling video coming of the canal ride, which is incredible, especially at Saltaire, and I will be taking the two recorders into the early music shop to get a clean and anything else they need doing. So anyway, back to the sonata. I'm doing an awful lot of talking here and not a lot of playing. Why have I got a pink sticker there? That is because that line of music features the dreaded top A. And as I said on the last video, you've got to cover the bell to get that top A. And we were messing around with playing this sitting down at a certain angle, the best angle to get your knee up. You can't see my knee here. You have to get your knee up to cover the bell. In fact, my recorder teacher said, wouldn't it be great to have some kind of cushion in front of you that you could just push the recorder against? She says, we could invent this, we could make millions. Anyway, yeah, that's just to remind me that that particular section, she said, is best if I learn it off by heart. so I can really get the knee in position at the beginning of that line of music, and that section plays all by heart, and that way you're not sort of looking down, looking up, thinking, oh my god, I'm not going to get that top A. Not sure how it works standing up, which is what I'm doing now, because the top A, the fingering I use, is that covering, well, with a pinch obviously at the back, covering the bell, which doesn't work, as you can hear. So you really need to lean over like that if you are standing up, and obviously you can't see the music if you're doing that, because you've got to make sure the bell is properly covered, otherwise it's a disaster. Of course, could chicken out and use a low A, which would be a hell of a lot easier. So what else did I learn last night about this piece? Well, the flautist said that here on the music you can see there's some sort of staccato thing going on there. He said, ignore that. That's not what Bach wrote. So that's written by whoever it is who edited this piece. And he said, he doesn't like that. And that's fair enough. I agree with him. So forget about that. And also he said, remember, it is an Allegro. It's bouncy. It's happy. It's dancey. It's all this sort of nice. It's not duh, 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 duh. I mean, with this, he's referring to the quavers. He said, don't just go duh, duh, don't go. It's more sort of bouncy. Oh, and also, where there is a set of two quavers, the first is always the stronger beat, and the second is a lesser of a beat. So you're not going da da, you're going da da, kind of thing. So what my recorder teacher also said, which is what she has advised me to do right from the start, is to obviously concentrate on playing the tricky bits. And for me, that's the bit just before the top A. And really slow that down and play it slowly. And then go backwards over it, so you're playing it backwards, a bar at a time, which is very helpful. And just focus on that, doing it really slowly. And bring the rest of the piece in line with that slow beat, and then gradually speed it up, because this is quite a fast piece and I have been playing it too fast for my level at the moment. So that's a takeaway from last night's lesson. My playing has not improved, obviously, since yesterday's video. So let's see where we're at with this, kind of bearing in mind some of this stuff. I may not play the whole piece, but I'll just have a go. Now there's a breathing that he said, because I had a breath mark just before that top D, and he said move it back to there, because that way you're not interfering with what's going on here. Of course I didn't do that, did I, just now? So let's try that again, and remember to see what difference that makes. Ah, my recorder's blocking up. I did it, and oh, I did the A, but then I messed up the next bit. Try that bit. I don't know why I mess up that bit there after the top A, because it's such a straightforward set of notes. Yeah, that's the bit I've got to learn by heart. Anyway, let's move on. Oh yeah, this is the bit that the flute player does without breathing. See how far I can get. I got that far. That's not bad. That's about half of where he gets to, but then he is a proper musician and I'm not. Bit of a mishmash, this video, isn't it? It's a bit of a mishmash. Not much playing, a lot of talking, and also trying out a new setup, as you can see, back in my living room, which is better acoustics and more space than the dining room. So I might possibly end up recording in here because I do like it in here, despite the fact there's a lawnmower going on outside, which I hope you can't hear. So anyway, thank you for watching me plod through this and just try out a few things, and I'll catch up with you next time.